activating this. And then, of course, one of the speeches that was made by the president during the campaign, where he said that, you will reduce the purchasing power of the people and widen the tax nets, came on board. It actually quite circulated. Farouk Barogi wrote something on that, where he said that Nigerians took for granted when the president made that statement. And so a couple of issues coming in with all of this policy implementations coming back to back made a lot of Nigerians begin to recollect when some words that he said during his campaign. And the question that a lot of us asked was or is, who will be those responsible to pay for the cybersecurity levy? What is the benefit of the cybersecurity levy now? Is it a priority for the people? And what is the stake for those who go about day-to-day activity with transactions specifically? Who are the sectors responsible for this? And then, was there a proper conversation carried out before the implementation of this policy? What was the say or the stake of the National Assembly or the House of Representatives when this particular policy was decided to be implemented? Now, before the president is asking the CBN to put a stay on it while they continue to negotiate, why was that negotiation not carried out and a due process is being followed through before the official announcement of the implementation of the cybersecurity levy, considering the fact that the tariff hike on electricity was just recently imposed, despite the Minister of Power invited to the National Assembly to explain why that necessity and why now. So I want us to take a listen to Ali Ndume. He is a senator, and of course Ali Ndume was able to give us his own perspective on why he thinks the presidency did what they did and the essence or the importance of the cybersecurity summit, or rather the cybersecurity levy. And he actually said something. He asked the same question I am asking. The thing that Nigerians did not really get straight is who was meant to pay what? What sector? Is it the banks? Is it a security exchange? That's a question that Ali Ndume was asking. So I would implore us to actually listen to what he has to say. You know that he is the Senate Chief Whip. So let's take a listen to Ali Ndume.
Drawing table to look at the act again. When this administration came on board, the first issue that needed to be addressed is the issue of cybercrime. And it's part of the purpose of government as outlined in section 14.2 of our constitution, that the purpose of government is security and welfare of its citizens. And cybercrime is part of a security, very important one. So that's why the government was in a hurry to look at the law, enabling law, which was signed in 2015, and then kind of strengthen it and give more powers to the institutions charged with that responsibility to ensure efficiency and to address the serious cybercrime which is ravaging this country, spoiling our reputation and name because of the incessant and increased cybercrime going on in Nigeria. But I would add to say quickly that we are in a hurry. And so we were not able to look at the nitty-gritty of the issue until the CBN made that announcement. And also, they didn't look at it very well. And you see the reaction of Nigerians was not good. Of course, it is expected because going through this, looking at the situation we find ourselves with a lot of burden on the common man and the low-income persons, it is not the intent on the poor, the middle class especially, and the low-income earners or Nigerians in general. So I still want to commend the president for that, and as I said, I was expecting him to do that. But I also want to urge Nigerians to agree with this government that this cybercrime issue is something that needs to be critically, the laws need to be critically upgraded. But let me add here again that there was a lot of, I was looking at the law after the outcry by Nigerians and discovered that honestly there are some lapses here and there that need to be addressed. For example, The levy is supposed to be 0.5% of value of the electronic transaction. But the law did not clearly state who is going to take responsibility. And that's why Nigerians are worried. Although the CBN circular, as I looked at it, section 44.2 clearly indicates the institutions or the businesses that is supposed to take on or bear the cost of the levy. It specifically said GSM service providers and all telecommunication companies, 2 internet service providers, bank and other financial institutions, insurance companies,
So yes, that is Alu Ndume, the Senate Chief Whip, who was given an explanation on the cybersecurity levy. And of course, he asked the vital question that I had already asked before I introduced him. So the next thing, of course, I would also want us to look into is the fact that the president has actually said, okay, fine, if this is how Nigerians feel about this, put a pause on it. You're right. Don't proceed with this cybersecurity levy for now. Let's see how it goes. And then let's see if this particular policy implementation, there'll be proper negotiation for it before we proceed with that. Apparently, the deducted amount is to be explicitly noted in customer accounts under the descriptor cybersecurity levy and remitted by financial institutions. Now, all financial institutions were required to start implementing the levy within 2 weeks from the issuance of the circular. So, by implication, the deduction of the levy by financial institutions was supposed to commence on the 20th of this month. All right, and the financial institutions are to make their remittances in bulk to the NCF account domiciled at the CBN by the 5th business day of every subsequent month. So the questions Nigerians are asking is, after this money is collected and collated, then what is it used for? What are they going to use that cybersecurity levy money for? Are they going to pay some individuals to help us check cybercrime? Although we've been having issues with cybercrime, what you need to be responsible for monitoring that? Are we going to get a breakdown, or will I say an auditing statement as to how the monies deducted from persons will be utilized for this cybersecurity levy? That is the question Nigerians are asking, because there are already security procedures, and somehow there are lapses in these institutions that impose this security procedure. So how do we know, with all of this monies deducted, that they'll be utilized for the purpose with which the government said they'll be used for, considering how things always occur in this part of the world? That's what, cast that particular shadow, or the gray area in the cybersecurity levy. Now let's look at another interesting thing for us to consider, which of course is Rivers. We do know that the court actually said all the 27 lawmakers in Rivers State, they're to stop parading themselves as lawmakers within the state from Friday. I think that information came up on Friday, that they're to stop parading themselves as members or lawmakers in the Rivers State Assembly from that Friday. And we do know there was also another speaker, the factional speaker that emerged. This political turmoil in Rivers State actually set the tone in the course of the week. But before we proceed, the question that was asked is, a lot of Rivers people are asking is, why can't Nyesom Wike leave Rivers and let the people govern themselves, or let Fubara do his job? Other people asked, why is it now that Fubara decided to wake up and he now realized that the peace pact that was formed in Abuja, the 8th resolution peace pact, was unconstitutional? Others said, well, he decided to embrace and respect the president. All right. And then he has done that. And most of the demands that were asked of him, he has kept on with it. But these defected lawmakers decided to supposedly belittle his person. They go ahead to impose laws, implement laws without the governor's assent, without his presence. They were constituting themselves within the River State Assembly, wherever it is that they meet, making it seem like boldly the governor of the state is not needed, all because they're supposedly allies of Nyesom Wike. Well, let's listen to what Nyesom Wike said in response to that. According to Nyesom Wike, he says that he has made a mistake and that he is allowed to make a mistake. People make mistakes. That's what he said. And that in this particular instance, he's apologizing to Rivers people for the mistake he made. So the question we're now asking him was, what mistake did you do that you decided to push for those people to vote for Fubara? And you realize that maybe Fubara is not aligning with the conditions that you guys had before he became the governor. Is that the mistake you're referring to? So maybe when you listen to him, you would possibly ask the same question. You understand to what line of thoughts that his statement means when he apologized to the people of Rivers by saying that he made a mistake and he's a human being and he apologized for that. So let's listen to Nyesom Wike addressing the defected lawmakers and a couple of people in Rivers State.
What God has done for them. Who appreciate what God has used people to do for them. God does not come down. God uses people to help people. So when you have been helped, you appreciate them, and then God will know that you have also appreciated him. I have never told anybody to worship me. Nobody can worship man. All of us believe that we only have one God, and it's only that God we worship, and we continue to worship that God. But as politicians, we appreciate people who have helped, is it not? Ogu people, Ogubolo people. When I came to ask you to support me, you supported me. Is it not correct? Did I worship you? Did I worship you? But I have to appreciate you. Is that not correct? I want to say this clearly. Well, in life, when you have made a mistake, you say you have made a mistake. There's nothing you can do about it. I have made a mistake. I own it up. And I say, God forgive me. And I'll say, all of you forgive me. But we'll correct it at the appropriate time. I'm a human being. I'm bound to make a mistake. My judgment can be wrong. So forgive me for making a wrong judgment. That's life. So nobody should kill himself. Let me say this clearly. Arnold, don't be fighting that anybody would remove you as an assembly member. Nobody would remove you as an assembly member.
Right. So what does Nyesom Wike say? What does he mean by saying nobody would remove you as an assembly member? If the court has given its own injunction, right? What other means would that be superimposed? Who else would say something otherwise? That Nyesom Wike is very confident that nothing afterwards will change, or that there is something that will change beyond what the court has actually stated. The next question a lot of Nigerians are asking is the fact that what is wrong with godfatherism? If you are a godfather to somebody, of course, every other person who has political interests, who has the call or the will to serve, and there is somebody that you've understudied or is your mentor, if that person decides to possibly sponsor your interests, what are these conditions that are attached? Because that's the problem. There are some conditions that are attached that maybe whoever it is as a godson is not able to keep up with. And that's the case of what is going on with Nyesom Wike and Fubara. Nigerians said, we weren't there when they made the agreement. We weren't there to see how they pushed to ensure that Fubara emerged as the governor. But the question is, what are the conditions that were attached to this particular covenant, sort of, that Fubara feels he cannot be consistent with, or that he cannot uphold? So apparently questions are being asked And Dan Nwanyanwu, the chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, via Monitor television program, had to respond to that concerning the situation in Rivers State and the people, how they feel, you know, as the fact that Fubara is a governor, the reception that they have towards Fubara, and the kind of aura that the people have around him. He literally stated that the people love him and the people want him to work for them, but that Nyesom Wike is really a clog in his process to speed up development in Rivers State. However, he mentioned the fact that godfatherism is not a bad concept, but what are these conditions that makes it quite difficult to retain that relationship? Let's take a listen to him.
2-3 weeks ago to conduct IPAC election. We saw people, we interviewed people. Everywhere was calm. They are in tune with the government of the day. But the problem, according to them, comes up when the Abuja group enters the town. When they leave on Sunday, Monday, there will be peace. What is godfatherism? Godfatherism is somebody assisting another by different methods to gain power. But it becomes godfatherism when certain terms are attached to that assistance. Even when the man that assisted may not have done it with money from his pocket. I know Nigerian politicians, very few politicians can dip money in their pockets, spend millions, billions to get somebody elected as governor. There is no two Tinubus today in Nigeria. Even when he was not in office, he was still keeping his structure. 8 years after, he was keeping his structure. 8 years going, he was keeping his structure. But I don't know anybody that can come back after leaving office. He thinks he will. You did not do what Governor Tinubu did as he then was as governor. You build people, even when you are not there. They remember you, put them where they are. But when everything is done by deceit or by methods that are not akin to democracy, this is what you get. Godfatherism is not desirable, it's not a bad idea too. You can help somebody get into office. And I have always told politicians, it is better you give a good man power. He will not forget. When Jesus Christ healed the 10 lepers, all of them ran away. When they got healed on their way, 9 ran away. 1 remembered that Jesus told them to go. He ran back to Jesus and said, before Jesus said, look, where are you? Were 10 that were healed. Where are the other 9? He said, go, your faith has made you whole. What am I saying in effect? There is joy in gratitude. And gratitude is not carrying the state funds of this party to give you. When you are invited to functions, to make speeches and all that, it's part of the gratitude you are recognized. We have past governors, and they should know that it doesn't work. And I've told my colleagues, political oath doesn't kill anybody.
Absolutely.
All right, that was, of course, Daniel Nwanyanwu during a Monitor television program where he actually explained the concept of godfatherism and the fact that you have persons who want to sponsor that political will, and that political passion does not mean that there should be absolute control on you where you have no autonomy to do as you ought to do. That's basically what he's saying. However, let's listen to the Rivers youth leader who is asking for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene in this matter. He's saying that Nyesom Wike is really creating a serious political turmoil, preventing Fubara from having to carry on his jurisdiction as executive governor of Rivers State, asking the president to please come on board. A lot of Nigerians said the president came in the first time, and a lot of people criticized his resolution. So why do you think the president will come in this time? Let's listen to him. Then I'm going to read out to you the response from the presidency as regards the political situation in Rivers State.
Speaker in the State Assembly, Right Honorable Vito Kujumbu. I know people have aligned ourselves to that leadership. Now, the former members of the Rivers State Assembly, led by Martin Samihuli, has been frustrating the efforts of the state government. As I speak with you, if we must get things right in our state, then we must come back to say, look, there shall be peace. Wike should hands off anything concerning Rivers State. He has served as a governor. Local government, their tenure were elapsed on the 18th of June. Like we said before, they must vacate their office. You cannot, in disguise, you took an oath of office for 3 years and you are making a law. We have not finished it. You want to stay for extra 6 months. For God's sake, Mr. President should call Wike to order. Wike is giving us headache. We want to also call on Mr. President and the security agencies to call the local government chairman, who has about 40 days to remain in office, to order. They must vacate their office on the 18th of. It's constitutional. And nobody should come to threaten our governor. We are here to protect the governor of Rivers State. So we are pleading to Nigerians, international community, to call Yesu Wike to order. Enough of these things he's doing. He's not the only man who has governed Rivers State before I left. I've also offered myself, if he has forgotten anything the government has, he should tell me as his brother will go and bring it for him. So I'll have peace in Rivers State. Get their office on the 18th of. It's constitutional. And nobody should come to threaten our governor. We are here to protect the governor of Rivers State. So we are pleading to Nigerians, international community, to call Yesu Wike to order. Enough of these things he's doing. He's not the only man who has governed Rivers State before I left. I've also offered myself, if he has forgotten anything the government has, he should tell me as his brother will go and bring it for him. So I'll have peace in Rivers State.
All right, that was Chijioke Ihunwo, the Chairman National Youth Council of Nigeria. Chijioke Ihunwo, he is the Chairman National Youth Council of Nigeria. He's asking on the president, asking the international community to please come wade into the situation in Rivers, asking Nyesom Wike to face his jurisdiction as the FCT minister and allow the people of Rivers and Fubara to do what he needs to do without any interruption. That this is psychologically affecting the activities within Rivers State, and of course it is slowing the process of governance there. So what's your take on what he says? Now, the presidency has responded, and through Ajurin Golali, the special advisor on media and publicity to President Bola Tinubu, has told the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and others that his principal will not take sides in the ongoing crisis rocking Rivers State. Ngolali disclosed that the president's position during the interview on Television Continental. He says that the assumption that Tinubu would take their side in the Rivers State political crisis, that they would be disappointed. The special advisor insisted that Tinubu will not allow any attempt to frustrate the Rivers government. He says, and I quote, "I believe that anyone who believes that by their actions, whether it's from the federal level, state level, or the legislative branch in the state or the executive branch in the state, if they are banking on Mr. President to take sides on this matter, they are mistaken and they will be disappointed. Mr. President will not do that. What he will do is to ensure that everybody has what they need in order to work. He will also ensure that any attempt to frustrate the operation of the Rivers State government of conducting its affairs in a way that it would benefit the Rivers people, that's obviously not going to be allowed by this president or anybody else." So if the president has decided not to take sides, why intervene the first time? That's the question. Why did you come in the first time if now the resolution you implemented did not work? So why did you come in the first time? Because with the 8-point peace pact that you gave, it seemed to favor one person in this conflict between these two individuals, Nyesom Wike and Similai Fubara. The 8-point resolution you gave seemed to favor more Fubara and these defected lawmakers. It feels like in respecting this 8-point resolution, it's what caused that brazenness where people were not respecting law and order, where unconstitutional behaviors were officially carried out. The court has asked these 27 defected lawmakers to no longer parade themselves as lawmakers in Rivers State. And then the question everyone is asking is, what is holding INEC? Why has INEC not conducted fresh elections so that those seats that have been left vacant will be filled and Rivers will have persons to represent them? Others are saying that maybe because INEC has a couple of court issues, but it feels like they are stalling, waiting for somebody to nudge them ahead to conduct the by-elections. You know, that's the thing that they're asking. Conduct elections. These individuals have vacated. All right. If you follow with the constitution, they are literally they do not have any political leaning. They have no position, they have no place. Why don't you conduct fresh elections? So what is holding INEC? That's a question people are asking. Why has INEC not decided to fill up those seats so that Rivers State will be properly constitutionalized in the process of political order, and let them enjoy their governance or enjoy their governor? That's basically that. Okay, so moving on from that, Bagudu has complained and asked and stated why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was handicapped. He speaks on why President did not lobby for El Rufai to become a minister. Now, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, has absolved President Bola Tinubu of any blame in the scenario which played out over the failure of the National Assembly to confirm former Kaduna State Governor as a minister. Now, during an interview with Premium Times, Bagudu submitted that Tinubu played his role by nominating El Rufai for appointment, but going ahead to lobby the National Assembly after the former governor was rejected would be an abuse of power and lack of respect for the separation of power between the executive and the legislative arm of government. The minister added that President Tinubu was constitutionally handicapped and had to respect the decision of the lawmakers not to confirm El Rufai. Now, you know that the president nominated El Rufai for a ministerial appointment, but the National Assembly failed to confirm him after screening. They cited a lack of security clearance. Meanwhile, in that process, El Rufai later withdrew his interest in working for the Tinubu government. So he added that the president did everything constitutionally possible to have Mr. El Rufai in his cabinet. So when he was asked why President Tinubu did not intervene or lobby the National Assembly to confirm El Rufai, Bagudu said he would not want to speculate, but for Tinubu to have nominated El Rufai, it shows he wanted him as part of his government. Now, when this story came out, the question was, who are they trying to placate, and why is this explanation coming now? Who is asking questions about why El Rufai was not, nominated by the Senate? And you know that lately there have been some stories as to the fact that El Rufai, who is a major supporter, or who was a major supporter of the president while the 2023 elections were commencing during the campaign, they were surprised that he did not get any ministerial appointment. And they were also surprised that the president did not push further when the Senate did not confirm him. He was nominated, yes. His name was submitted, yes. But he wasn't confirmed. They cited security clearance. And so questions were, why didn't the president push ahead, considering how a couple of other senatorial nominations took place in that particular, or ministerial nominations took place? Why didn't he put fervor or more strength or spine in ensuring that, El Rufai got that nomination? That's the question, because now the speculations that El Rufai may no longer be in the APC. He may defect to another political party. He intends to work against the president in 2027. All manner of talks are out there. So why is Atiku Bagudu coming to clarify? What brought up that particular essence for clarification? Who is asking questions as to why the president did not ensure that El Rufai gets that appointment or get that ministerial appointment? Well, we'll see that as it goes. And before I call my analyst to be part of the conversation this evening, we have Ohaneze Indibo, a social cultural organization. They condemned subversive plots to unseat President Tinubu in 2027 and affirmed its commitment to transparency and unity. In a press release, the organization exposed a clandestine political maneuver by a southeast governor to become the running mate to a northern presidential candidate in the 2027 elections. This was made known by Mazi Okechukwu Isuguzoro, the factional secretary general of Ohaneze Indibo. According to Ohaneze Indibo, the plot involves exploiting northern discontent with the federal government and allying with Igbo and Fulani leaders to position the Southeast governor as the vice presidential candidate. The organization accused the governor of financially backing the failed Ohaneze Reconciliation Committee, which aims to advance this political agenda. Now, Ohaneze Indibo praised individuals like Professor Obasi Igwe, Dr. Halford Ugu, and Professor Nwankwo Nwezigwe for their courage in exposing the hidden agendas and clandestine political machinations. The organization refuted accusations directed at Mazi Okechukwu Isuguzoro by Chief Emmanuel Nwanyanwu as groundless and malicious. The Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndigbo condemned threats to the lives of its members and emphasized the need for transparency, integrity, and unity in the face of political subterfuge. They also called on all Ndigbo and well-meaning Nigerians to stand together to safeguard their collective future from divisive forces seeking to manipulate their destiny. It's funny. Because I recall on Thursday, Dikwa, a member of the Northern Forum, actually said that the president was being blackmailed, especially when it came to the cybersecurity levy. He said there were persons within the president's cabinet that were blackmailing him. And now this group, or a factional group, are saying that there are clandestine plots to unseat the president ahead of 2027. How is that possible? If the president intends to go again in 2027, fine, he's free. If any other person wants to campaign and feel that they deserve that position, why not? So what is the plot there? What's the clandestine effort being put there? Anybody who has a presidential ambition in 2027, it's free, if they belong to a political party, to throw their heart in the ring. So what is this plot to unseat the president? Has the president said he will run again in 2027? Because there have been stories, from some members within the president's cabinet stating categorically that the president will win again in 2027. I think one of that person is Jesu Tega Onopasa. He says that people should better bear in mind that the president will win in 2027 and that he will certainly rule for 8 years. He gave that prediction and said that nothing will happen, any plan by any individual to scuttle that or to make sure that that doesn't take place. They are being delusional that by 2027 the president will actually rule again. They're saying he will become the president again. All right, so let's see how the particular scenario goes, because it's quite important that we continue to look at these issues and see how we can help ourselves in the process. So I'm going to be speaking with Barrister Darlington. He'll be joining me via the telephone to help us give a breakdown on some of these issues raised, so that we can take your responses via either YouTube, WhatsApp, and of course via the phone. Barrister Darlington is a political, national and social affairs commentator. He'll be giving us his perspective on some of the questions that we posed at him on these controversial political issues that I just read out now. The first one, the one with the cybersecurity levy, the president has asked for it to be suspended. I played the Senate Chief Whip's audio where he said that he asked a question which I asked you: who are the sectors responsible for paying the cybersecurity levy? Why was a proper conversation not carried out before that particular circular was sent around that it should be implemented on the 20th of May? And then who are the persons that would use that money, or what institution will be set up to ensure that the monies that will be collected from people will be used for the cybersecurity levy? And having the president having to intervene by ensuring that for now there is a stall on that. That's one question. The turmoil in Rivers State, should the president intervene again? Should he come on board again? The 8-point resolution did not work. How are we sure that if he comes in now it would work? Although the president has said he's not taking sides, Ajirin Gulali said the president is not taking sides in this entire reverse imbroglio. And then, of course, Atiku Bagudu having to speak on behalf of the president by saying that the president's hands are tied as to the fact that he had already done what he needed to do by nominating El Rufai, but that the Senate refused to confirm him and there was nothing he could do. The question is, why are you coming to defend the president now? Is it because of the fact that there are speculations that El Rufai may be defecting to another political party? That's a big question. And then this supposed conspiracy theory that the president, there are plots, clandestine plots to unseat the president in 2027. What does that even mean? That's the question. Barrister Darlington, good evening and welcome to the Political Spotlight. How are you?
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for joining me. Did you hear all the questions I asked that needed some responses?
Yeah, I heard you, and that of River State and what is going on there, it has been overflowed. One of the reasons why that thing has been said is because there are vested interests. And that interest is Tinubu and wicked. They are the ones causing crisis in rivers. They want to eat their cake and have it. And that is too bad.
All right.
This is how your democracy is made of. Esther.
I can hear you.
Good. Is it what democracy is made of?
No.
Even with all that is going on, we can see threatening that he made a mistake that he's going to correct it very soon. Apparently, he wants to give them another stooge whom they can control. That is not democracy at all. The president saying that he has no hands. Are you telling me that Tinubu cannot tell the weekend? If you don't want to stay in Abuja and work, then go back to Rivers or else I'm going to sack you. He knows the bad image is creating for him, which is creating for this government. He knows. But he prefers to keep quiet. How can he be talking like this, causing problem all over the place? Eh? So it's unfortunate, serious, it's unfortunate. We have allowed so many things to go wrong with our policy. This is not what I understand our policy. So this is not what I understand. I thought it's government of the people. Now it's government of one man, by one man and for one man. Is that what you call democracy? No. Tinubu knows what to do. He just don't want to do it. He's pretending about it. He's pretending. So this idea of 2027, how many people will be alive by that time? How many? You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So before he can say he does not have a hand in it, why did he not impose his will in a matter that has to do with the constitution and with the courts? The eight-point agenda which he goes for people to raise, was it not heavily against Kubara? Is that you are giving wicked power to continue to harass the man. It's not fair, seriously, it's not fair.
All right, Barrister. All right, Barrister Darlington, like you said, that matter has been overflowed, but it was just that the presidency has reacted because there were quite a lot of responses. And Nyesom Wike too had to apologize to these people.
Tweak it a bit, tweak your line a bit. I'm not hearing it clearly.
I should tweak it. Barrister Darlington, I don't have any power to tweak anything. Can you hear me now?
It's you, I cannot hear you. When you are speaking now, the thing was, it was woozy.
Can you hear me now?
Coming in and going out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm asking you, let's head on to what Atiku Bagudu said about the president and El Rufai. He said the president's hands were tied, and that's why, or that the president was handicapped. And, that is why El Rufai couldn't be given a ministerial appointment. But, when El Rufai was nominated, the House actually said they couldn't appoint him or confirm him because there were security lapses. So the question was, why didn't the president pressure the National Assembly like he did for some other ministers? Why didn't he push ahead? If the House said no, what was the reason? Because of the fact that there were talks that El Rufai helped, for him to, at least one of the major supporters while he was campaigning, that he deserves a reward for to serve within his cabinet. And that did not happen. And that they're asking the president, why did he not push further? Why did he not, put 2 feet forward to ensure that he gets that ministerial appointment? And so the question is, why is Atiku Bagudu coming to explain this? He's the Minister of Budget. So why? What is it? What is the reason for you coming to give this explanation now? Is that your position? Is that your pot of stew or soup? What exactly are you explaining? That's the big question. Why are you coming to explain? Who asked you? What would have prompted you to explain that?
Everybody is trying to play psychopathy to please Tinubu. They want us to believe or to know that it does not really so that everything was not appointed.
This is a Minister of Budget and Economic Planning having to speak on behalf of the president concerning why a particular individual couldn't be confirmed in the Senate. Are you not seeing the disparity?
No, as long as they are cabinet ministers and all that, and as long as the lawlessness is like a state policy here, so anybody can wake up and speak on behalf of Tinubu say both good and nice things about him. You know, the airport you are talking about, is it not his brother from the north? Why did they take such an extreme view against airport? Of course.
Hello, Barrister Darlington. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Barrister Darlington? I can't hear you anymore. All right, well, we try to get across again to Barrister Darlington. These are the conversations. We actually have the minister, the governor of Bayelsa State, having to complain as to the fact that the Niger Delta is one of the less developed states, or one of the less developed regions in this country. According to him, he says that 36 states in the country gather in Abuja every month to share resources from Bayelsa. And with all of this, Bayelsa is still one of the predominantly less developed regions in the country. He talked about the fact that the country's lopsided federalism, the practice of lopsided federalism, has hindered the development of states, calling for a review of the revenue derivation formula in line with the practice of fiscal federalism. Derry made this known while he was speaking over the weekend in Houston, Texas, when Ijaws in the United States of America and Canada conferred on him the award of Icon of Unity and Social Justice as part of a 3-day 2024 convention organized by Ijaw National Congress. Governor Dewey stated that the Niger Delta is an area that should be better than other regions if they are allowed to use their resources for development. He queried the existing practice where resource-endowed states in Nigeria, particularly in the Niger Delta, get 13% as monthly allocation from their resources, and that it is wrong to describe Bayelsa as insolvent and unable to exist without monthly federal allocation while its resources were shared in Abuja monthly with other states. What do you think about that? What's your take on that? With what Governor Dewey is actually saying beyond the Niger Delta? What about the southeastern states? There have been clamors for one more state to be created there to balance the equation across all the other regions, but that is not, that's not taking place. So the essence of federalism, if it's not benefiting all the regions, then why is that being, adopted? That's the question Jury is actually asking. I would have loved Barrister Darlington to talk about this clandestine moves to unseat the president in 2027, which of course the president is going to be 1 year in office in a couple of weeks, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks from now, and we still have 4 years to go before 2027, or rather 3 years to go before 2027. So why the rush? Why the hurry? We don't even know if we're going to be, how the country will be then, before anyone is looking ahead towards 2027. I recall in the course of the week as well, Pastor Tomi talked about the fact that a mega political party needs to emerge, that's the only way to unseat the APC come 2027, and that this mega political party is neither a merger of the PDP or the Labour Party. So what other parties will be merged? Because according to him, he said these opposition parties, that's the PDP and the Labour Party, have seriously disappointed Nigerians. They've not acted as strong or true political parties who should raise voices and question some of the prospect or some of the process of governance or the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He says that they're not critiquing as they ought to critique. Their voices are not being heard, and the people are suffering, and they're not feeling the effect of a proper administration or dividend of democracy. That's what Pat Utomi is actually saying. So I'm going to open the phone lines now so that we can take calls and follow up with the conversation. The WhatsApp number you can actually send your messages to is 0817 1756 338. 0817 1756 338. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number for you to call and be part of the conversation. Let's hear what you have to take. Please let your comments be as clean as possible. No defamation of persons or character. You have a minute to respond, to say what you have to say. It's important we keep that clean essence, all right, while we are having this conversation. So that's basically it. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That is the number for you to call. All right, the WhatsApp number here is 0817 175 6338. Hello, good evening and welcome to the Political Spotlight.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
How are you?
I am fine.
Happy Sunday.
Same to you. What's your name?
One.
Hello?
A building is built on a poor foundation.
Hello? Can you hear me? What's your name, please, and location?
I haven't in the country, especially.
Hello, what's your name? You did not introduce yourself.
The
Hello?
election, the foundation.
0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello? Please, when you call, turn off the audio of your listening device, your radio, whatever it is you're listening to us from, please. Hello?
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome to the Political Spotlight. Turn down the audio of your listening device. Thank you. What's your name? Okay, we seem to be having a network situation. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 175 6338. All right, 0817 175 6338. Hello? Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, Esther.
How are you, Remy?
I'm fine, and you?
I am fine. Go ahead, please.
Let me ask you this rhetorical question. Do you think Nigeria is in recession?
Do I think Nigeria is in recession? Are you asking me? I think you're the one calling. I don't want to give my own personal opinion into this.
I'm asking, looking at all indices, don't you think we are in recession? Because I'm wondering why the word recession has not been used for the past few months that we've been experiencing this high inflation rate and the rest. I don't know why the word, that word is not being used. Everything is showing that Nigeria is in deep recession. Even it's far worse than the recession we had under Buhari. So why that word is not being used both by economists and the media, I don't know. Look at the inflation rate, for God's sake, Esther. Far worse than the recession under Buhari, the two recessions expressed under Buhari. So why is that word not being used to describe the state of the economy? One. Two, some of us predicted what happened today, that when Tinubu returns, he was going to suspend the so-called cybersecurity levy. And the next talk will be, we have a listening president. But the question is, who appended the signature to that bill? Was it not the same Tinubu? Does it not seem insensitive in the first place by doing that? Because I don't know the kind of game they are trying to play. The same way they did under the 58 years of Buhari is what is playing out. The same script. In the first place, when you guys amended that bill, it was not known to the whole country. I don't know if you guys know about it. You media, were you guys notified? Did you attend any of the sittings? We don't know. They sneaked it in. There was no place where the individuals were asked to pay certain amount of money. They sneaked that in. But when it comes to policies that will affect the lives of the people, it takes like forever. Look at the student loan, for example. Since last year, June, that they claimed they will implement it. They postponed it to November, to December, to January, to March 14. Now, till next year again. It takes them time to implement policies that will affect the lives of people. But when it's to punish the people, they do that overnight. When it's to implement policy that will affect the lives of the people, to as in punish the people, they easily do that overnight without thinking it twice. The case of Fubara and Wike, I don't have a horse in this fight. I pity the people of Rivers State. For Wike to keep saying what he said, the audio you played, it shows that Wike is highly connected with those in power, judiciary to be precise. His wife is a judge. She was nominated by Ariwola to be part of the judges that will be sworn in, I think, in the appeal court also. So you can tell, for Wike to be bragging about that, Wike knows what he's saying. We saw how the last election played out. We saw what the results of INEC, IRF gave, and we saw what INEC did with the result. The IRF result shows that the Labour Party won that state. But Mahmoud declared APC to be the winner. We all saw that. This is not my opinion. It is a fact. INEC's result shows that the Labour Party won that state. But by the powers that be, Mahmoud declared someone else. So for Wike to be bragging, Wike knows what he's saying. But we'll get to see how things turns out. Good night, Esther.
Thank you so much, Remy. Wow, that was a lot. Thank you. All right. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number. 0700. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the Political Spotlight. What's your name?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine. It's Nemeka from Igbo.
Nemeka, kindly go ahead, please.
Yeah. Esther, please, this on Igbo. How many suspects? How many are there?
Amahamo. There's Isigusoro too. So they're like two. I think for now it's two different groups.
You see the reason why we are not even minding all of them. All those small politicians. We just be talking anyhow.
I'm even surprised. Like, seriously, what did you expose to unseat the president in 2027? And so that what happened? I don't understand. It didn't even make sense.
They are just talking for themselves. They are looking for something to enter their stomach. All those people, they are the cause of this problem we are facing today in this country. All of them. I will not lie to my sister. And these Bayelsa people that is talking that they are not seeing any development. And the last time I do research about oil wells in rivers and the Bayelsa all over here, no one belongs to those citizens of that state. If it will belong to the politicians. Nigeria is making money from that side, and their people are suffering, and they are comfortable with that. Only looking for allocation to give them to secure pipeline. That's what they are fighting. Building all manner of militants. Listen, you see this country, my dear. So far as we say that we will be enemy of the truth. We will be against the truth. Now, so we will there forever. Until we start to say, we look at our faces and say, my brother, you make a mistake, correct it. If not, we will remain like this forever. We will remain a last stop with war.
Thank you, Nemeka.
I am not lying you.
Thank you. Let's take
Thank you, my dear.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number that you can send your messages to is 0817 175 6338. Hello, welcome to the Political Spotlight. Please, when you call, turn off the audio of your listening device or your radio. Please, it's very important. It distorts. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Please, your name and location.
Yes, sir. Joe from Bariga. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you absolutely well. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, sir. The issue of Wike. I'm asking this question. Is Wike the owner of River State?
No, he's not.
Are you sure? What about the father? Are you sure the father is not the owner of the
He's
the
not,
State?
obviously. I think he feels...
Okay, let me ask you. Is Wike above the law? We don't have constitution in River State, Nigerian constitution in River State.
Nobody is above the law.
I'm asking all this question because it's too much of him. And then he's talking with all impunity. He's talking with all that is going to remove this young man. I don't know what is happening. Petitions. If I talk now, I talk a bad word. I don't know what is wrong, actually, Esther. This man, a lot of people should call him to order. This is not the politics of 2018 when he was in power. It's not the politics of that day. It's not the politics of 2024. Please, they should call him to order so that he will not destroy River State. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Joe, thank you for calling. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call, and the number to send your WhatsApp messages to is 0817 1756 338. Now, in what could be described as a looming tribal and ethnic war between the Hausas and Fulanis, Hausas in northern Nigeria have given Fulanis notice to quit their lands. This follows the recent backlash rejoinder to Fulani leader Dr. Salim Musa Umar, who is the President General of Fulbe Global Development and Rights Initiatives, by Hausa leader Kautum Alumbe Jitami, emancipator, Hausawa Sansa Development Association. Well, according to them, for 219 years, the Hausa people have been victims of terrorism and injustice under Fulani leadership. The rejoinder obtained from verified Kasar Hausa, that's the general news there, advised the Fulanis to exit themselves out of Hausa land before it is too late. Now, they also alleged that Usman Donfodio, the great-grandfather of Fulanis, initiated the killings of Hausa people and seizure of their lands by brigandage, which continue to today. And so they're asking them to also make sure that if they cannot stick with peace, they should leave. The House has also stated that Dr. Salim Umar was silent when his Fulani people were busy visiting Hausa people and committing atrocities unabatedly. And so they're complaining that the terrorism in that particular region has become so much, and that they do no longer want to stick with peace but want to upstage. And if they cannot try to have a peaceful accommodation or peaceful relationship with the settlers or with the original settlers, then they should try as much as possible to leave their land. What does that mean, and how will this actually affect the people from that region? Is this the right time to be calling for an emancipation? The country, anybody can live anywhere in this country. No particular tribe owns any particular place in this country. So the call for this to what end? All right, 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Political Spotlight.
Good evening, Esther Wachuku. Myself is Pastor Sofa.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Peter Ustifu. I'm calling from Abanaja in Ikotu.
All right.
On cyber security levy, the withdrawal or the suspension, the call for suspension of it by Mr. President is very much commendable.
Okay.
In fact, that levy should be scrapped, or even if it's going to be amended, should not be at the expense of Nigerian market. Then on the relationship between El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, who helped Bola Ahmed Tinubu to win the election in 2023, that relationship between him and Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think the people, the masses, sorry, the mass media, and of course, the masses, many Nigerians are unnecessarily sensational on this.
Okay.
They are creating division where there's none. For instance, in the next shuffle of the cabinet, Tinubu may decide to appoint him if he so decides. That is, if El-Rufai so accepts. So there's no need of, saying that there's division between two of them, that probably he defeated SDP, that is El-Rufai defeated SDP the other day, that means he wants to leave the government, or probably he talked about the removal of subsidies, that's El-Rufai, then that means he gets to. No, people should not be unnecessarily sensational. Finally, on Fubara and River State, in my own opinion, I don't want to go into the dictionary definition of agreement. But agreement for me, if it is signed by two parties, if there's any default, then we call it breach of contract as it were. But let it be also known that I, in my own opinion, will not want Mr. President to intervene in this crisis as it were. Let the crisis go into the full hog. Let it go into the judiciary and let the judiciary tell us who is right and who is wrong, whether it's Fubara or Wike, as it through the 27 House of Assembly members in Rivers State. The people or the conspiracy theorists that have said that Wike has bought the judiciary or the government has bought the judiciary, to me it's a big lie. Judiciary is very much independent in this case and should be seen to be independent. And finally, let it be known that those people who are against or who are in support of Fubara now are people who never voted for him. For instance, Uche Secondus and his group, and of course, Edwin Clark and his group, many of them like that. Sorry that I'm mentioning names. These people never wanted Fubara to be the governor of Rivers State. Why? Because of Wike. Because of the way Wike, played his own role in 2023 election, making sure that Bola Ahmed Tinubu won that election. But they have also forgotten to know that it is Wike that brought even the PDP structures into that place as far as 2023 election is concerned. So Fubara should know that his enemies are just people who have now turned to his friends in quotes. If I were Fubara, I will resign honorably. So as to be the third governor in Nigeria that resigned honorably. Otherwise, he'll be impeached. And this case is not taken. If the crisis blossoms, then federal government, through Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have no choice but to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State because of the nature of Rivers State to Nigeria. Remember, Rivers State produces our crude oil and is very, very delicate in Nigerian economy. So that is my own solution for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for calling. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. After this call, I'll begin to read your messages. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Name and location, please.
I'm Victor Shegun from Mushin.
All right, Victor Shegun from
My
Mushin.
own take concerning that of Rivers State is the law of karma that is going on, especially when the election came in last year. It was rigged. This is the result which they are now facing between Ike and Fubara. They rigged the election. They couldn't get together. That's why both of them are fighting. And they will continue fighting because of the unjust they did to the party which won. Even they confessed after the election. Two, we have cabals, we have autocracy and corrupt cases within the government. That's what is happening. So let court decide, especially we don't have complete truth or faithful. If you speak the truth in this country, people will go against you. They are calling black white. The judiciary, 99% is corrupt concerning the past election, which is clear to everybody who won the election. I'll mention the party that won the election. So, okay, his confidence is bad by some power to be, and he's speaking like a god. He has forgotten who owns the power, who owns the soul, who owns the mind. So this country, we want the masses. When the masses stood challenging the increment in what they now reverse, if all the country can down tools, can sacrifice for 2 weeks to sit down at home. The government will sit down with cooperate. Special station is fighting for the masses and explaining the grievances of the masses to the government. So I'm still saying the battle is in our hands. We can't go with machine gun or with anything, but it's all of us, the masses, not those who are investing the money of the country. If we can sit down tight, but we can, if we sit and we all decided, see, the elders during 1912 at Ojota, who supported those who are now in government, they failed to stop and to defend the masses. They kept quiet as if nothing is happening. We know them, our fathers, the owner, who were hailing him to countries, so they kept quiet.
All right, thank you. We need to take more calls, okay? We need to take more calls.
So thank
you very much. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number. However, let me take some of your WhatsApp messages. Good evening. You didn't put your name. I'm not going to read this message. If you're sending messages, please put your name in there. All right. Good evening, Miss Esther. My name is Chinedu from Alaba International Market. All right, Chinedu, my name is Esther. All right. Now, it has been that Nigerian problem is something our contribution can solve. Only your voice alone can do it, but it can't because they have known our weak point. On the issue of Rivers State, is what they want that's affecting them. It's obvious. Unless Nigerians wake up from sleep, they will continue to play with our intelligence. We are dying of hunger. The prices of things seriously increasing day by day, and we're busy discussing about people that have done irreparable damage to Nigerians. All right, Chinedu from Alaba International Market, thank you so much for your message. Evening, Esther. There is a saying, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. The question is, for this government, what has the people benefited from them? 11 months of nightmare, sorrow, tears and blood due to bad policies, taxes that created insecurity, that turned the country to a gangster paradise, economic disaster, poverty, increase of school fees that has brought about failure of students, WAEC and JAM, illiteracy, agberoism, banditry and Yahoo boys, no power that has made private companies to jackpot, SMEs shut down, doctors and other professionals to have left in droves. Is this governance? Blessed are those who do not expect from this government, for they shall not be disappointed. All right, this is from Dio from Fagba. Dio, thank you for your message. Okay, and this is from Ikenna from Ajao. Wike had a terrible deal with Fubara. Number one, the Fubara cannot give out any contract worth more than 100 million naira as a governor. Number two, that 30% of Rivers State monthly allocation should go to Wike's pocket, and many more, making Fubara incapacitated. What a terrible man Wike is. All right, Ebuka from Lagos State says, we are no longer happy in Nigeria because of the hoodlums and bandits. All right, these are the messages so far. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. You can still send more messages on WhatsApp. Is 0817 1756 338, 0817 1756 338. Hello. Good evening and welcome to the Political Spotlight. What's your name?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I am fine. What's your name, please?
My name is Tom. I'm calling from Okialfa.
You're calling from Okialfa?
Yes.
All right, please go ahead.
I want to ask this question. The time we can Rivers State, anybody stop. Why in terms of banana, in terms of this one? Because of these one are telling Wike to support him. They are supporting to win. They come and disturb him to this country, no, now. This country now.
All right, thank you. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And of course, the WhatsApp number is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. Hello? Hello?
Good evening. My name is Levy. I'm calling from Ketu.
All right, go ahead, please.
My contribution is this. All those agreements that we can sign with Ubara, is this not corruption? Let me, because me, I don't understand. Is this not corruption? Because the money that you have the governor to be paid to your own account, and you cannot sign more than this social contract. This is not corruption. And the EFCC is still watching, looking all those things. How can this country move forward for God's sake? Yeah? So in fact, then, and some people will still come out and be supporting these bad behaviors. In fact, thank God we are all on it. Both the people that support and the people that are against. So if rain is falling, fall on top of all of us. It will not leave anybody. Let us continue, and whenever we push this country to, so the repercussion will come to all of us. Thank you very much. Well done for a good job.
Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number to call is 0817 175 338. So the president has eventually said the cybersecurity level should be stored for now. Let more negotiations be carried on. Atiku Bagudu, the Minister of Economic, that is the Minister of Budgets and Economic Planning, has come out to clarify that the president did his best in nominating El-Rufai into his cabinet, but that the Senate could not confirm him due to security lapses. And the question is, why is Atiku Bagudu coming to explain that? What happened? What could have made him make that a point of discussion to actually express to the press at this time? I mean, it's almost a year gone, so what exactly is going on? Another thing to consider is Due Ediri complaining that the Niger Delta region is one of the underdeveloped region in this world, and that the 36 states governors converge in Abuja monthly to collect allocations derived from that region. Why is that so? The inequality, he talked about lopsidedness in our federalism. What's your take with what Due Ediri said? All right, that's one angle to look at it. Yes, and Wike eventually apologizes and said that to Rivers people that he made a mistake of what? Making sure that Fubar emerges as the winner, that the fact that he imposed Fubar on them as one of the strong nominees or political, the governorship candidates for PDP in Rivers State, and that things are not going well between them now, so he made a mistake. Is that the apology? Because a lot of people in Rivers are saying that he has declared war in the state, and they're calling on the president to intervene in the crisis. The presidency has says he's not taking sides, and that was through his spokesperson Ajirin Galali. He says he's not taking side with anybody, but all he knows is that law and order must be maintained in Rivers State. And the question that came to the mind of a lot of critics like yourself, and even the economic analyst, or rather the political analyst I spoke with earlier, is if you know you're not going to take side, then why did you interfere the first time? And your interference did not help issues, right? So what do you want the people of Rivers to do? Who do you think can quell the crisis there so proper governance can take place and it doesn't devolve into a state of anarchy? These are the issues that we looked at today. Hello?
Hello?
Please turn off the audio of your radio or your listening device, please. Hello? Hello? Okay, please call back when you are somewhere quiet. I can hear, it seems you're somewhere busy. There's a music behind at the background. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am fine. What's your name? I'm happy a woman is calling.
Okay. My name is Ngozi. I'm calling from Governor Road.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. You know, what I want to actually contribute is the case of, Wike and the River State stuff. it is unfortunate, how our leaders are arrogated so much power on them. Talking with every impunity, making it look as if you are God. You are not God. God is still God, and He's in heaven. And it's not as if God does not know what to do to all these people, but He's just giving them time to know if they will repent. Because I don't know why you will leave a state and you still want to be in control. It is not possible. You have ruled them. You have, done your own bit. Then, and you have another thing, you are doing over there in FCT. Why not focus on it? Why should you be causing embarrassment, in Rivers State? Making it look as if you are the only one, that can call the shot. Okay, even the apology, is that really an apology? Talking with arrogance, saying that you know what to do. What is it that you know what to do? These our leaders should remember that there is still God, and that you don't even have the control of tomorrow. Anything can happen tonight. So let them just be careful. Look at the situation they are putting Nigerians. People are dying out of hunger. So many things now is out of place, and some people are still there talking what is not.
Oh, that call has ended. Thank you for calling, Ngozi from Governor Road. Thank you for calling. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please.
My name is Victor from Eba.
All right, Victor from Eba. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Please, I'm talking about River State.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, so if they want to know.
Hello, Victor. I can't hear you anymore. Hello? All right, Victor, kindly call back. Okay. The line just went off. I don't know if it's a connection or it's a network or it's from your area. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Hello, you're live. I can hear you. What's your name?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Dio.
Dio, from what's your location?
I'm calling from Vienna.
You're calling from?
Vienna, Austria.
From Austria. Okay, go ahead then.
Yeah. Yeah, like the last caller said, the lady that called before the last caller was saying something about leaders in Nigeria. We don't have leaders in Nigeria. Yeah. Because if we have leaders in Nigeria, things that is happening in Nigeria, I don't think it will happen this way. What we have in Nigeria, we have dictators. Yeah. And Tinubu, I don't know what people expect from Tinubu. We don't expect anything from him. Whomsoever that expects something good from Tinubu, that person must be a joke.
Why would you say so?
Why I say so is somebody that the West have condemned later
West
become
condemned?
The president.
Who condemned who? Where did you see that? They've been complimenting some of his economic policies. The World Bank and the IMF. They are complimenting his economic policies. They are complimenting his economic policies. Haven't you heard?
So soon we've forgotten about the thing that's happening in America.
No, I'm just saying. When you said they condemned him, I mean, I'm talking.
No, they condemned. Yeah, you have just hold on. Let me land. Okay. They condemned him, but after everything, they accept him because everybody they want to gain from this same place.
Okay.
Yeah. So since we, the black race, accepted him, what do you expect from them?
You said the black race or Nigerians accepted him.
Yeah, because we all are blacks. They say that we are blacks. Yeah, so Nigerians.
He's not the president of all blacks. He's the president of Nigerians.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, we Nigeria accepted him. So what do you expect from them? They have to sing too, because when there is problem there, they benefit from the problem. So I just look people. They keep on saying something that even. Back in the days, they say that we have the rich average, and then the poor. Now, what we have is either you are rich or you are poor. So now, who is fooling who? That is the question. Who is fooling who? We are talking of Wike. Wike is in Abuja giving order in Port Harcourt. Is that normal?
No, it's not normal.
What is the president doing concerning Wike and the Port Harcourt
intervened
governor?
the first time, and the second time he said he's not going to intervene so long as that state does not devolve into a state of anarchy. He's not representing any side. He's not going to
everything is wrong in that country. Everything is wrong in that country.
All right, we need to wrap up.
That is just the truth.
Thank you for calling. All right, thank you for all of you who called, and for some of you that I can no longer take your call. Our time is fast spent, and it's time for another program. All right, the Political Spotlight takes place here every Sunday. My name is Esther Wachuku. Follow me across all social media platforms at Esther Was, at Estic Media on YouTube. That's ASTIQMEDIA. Do have yourself an amazing Sunday. Bye for now.